Do you know one thing that decreases your confidence when speaking English? The answer is mispronunciation. There are a lot of students, a lot of my students who tell me that they feel like people are going to laugh at them because they mispronounce words. Do you ever feel like you may be knowing the words, but you don't know how to pronounce them correctly? So what I have done is in today's lesson, I have got a list of some very common words that we speak, but unfortunately, they're also commonly mispronounced words. So today, I'm going to help you get its right pronunciation. Let's have a look at the first word. Ironically, the word pronunciation itself is pronounced incorrectly because most people say pronunciation, which is incorrect. You must say pronunciation, where you stress this part and you say pronunciation. I have really good pronunciation. A very common word that nowadays people are starting to use is the word, what do you say? Do you say epitome? Well, stop saying that. This word is epitome. Epitome, where you are stressing the pit. Okay, what does this word really mean? Epitome is something which is of the highest standard. So let's say if I'm a person who always comes on time, you can say, well, Ceema is the epitome of punctuality. Well, I'm not, but that's the sentence for you. It's epitome. Stop calling it epitome. Then you have, this is one of my favorite food actually. So this is a fish, but a lot of people say salmon, salmon. The L is silent, okay? So the next time when I go to a restaurant, I order the salmon. Then you also have, similar to salmon, you have a word called almond, okay? We all eat almonds, a dry fruit, but again, just like the salmon, you do not pronounce the L and you simply say almonds. I carry some almonds or I eat a few almonds when I feel hungry. We have another word. Okay, well, this is not my favorite day of the week. Actually, I kind of have mixed feelings about this. But what day is it? Is it Wednesday? Well, you don't have to pronounce the D. And actually, this word looks a lot bigger than it actually is supposed to be said. This word is simply said in 2 syllables. Wednesday. 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 So you can say, which day? Wednesday? Wednesday. So you stress the whens. Now, a very common word, I have a lot of my students who keep telling me, I probably might do this. You probably cannot do something, but you can probably do it. So this word is probably, where you stress the pro and you say probably. Probably means you may do it. You're not certain, okay? I probably might travel to London next year. I'm not sure. I probably. Okay. The next one. Okay, well, this word is everyone's favorite word because we all like to eat it. What is it? It's called dessert? No, think again. This word is called dessert. Dessert, where you stress the ert. And what does it mean? Like I said, it's something that you eat. But this is a sweet dish had mostly after a long meal. At the end of a meal, when you are in a restaurant, you order for dessert. Now, there are some people who live down south, right? Like India is like a big country. You have the north, you have the south. But just because you live in the south, you don't live in the southern part of the country. You live in the southern part. So the pronunciation is southern, not southern. This word is south, but this entire word is southern. You stress the south and you go southern. We've got a very nice word which I use a lot, and I'm sure all of you do as well. But are you calling it specific? Well, if you are specifically making a mistake because this word is not spe. It's not pronounced with a e sound. It's a sp. Specific. You simply say specific, where you stress the sif and you say specific. I have a specific requirement. not specific, specific. Okay, a lot of us go on vacation. I went on vacation recently, and when we go on vacation, what do? When we travel to a place, we make a plan of what we need to do. That plan is called do you call it an itinerary? Well, I think your travel agent needs to not be paid. Well, I'm just joking. Well, they call it an itinerary, but it's actually called an itinerary. Itinerary. Okay, so a travel plan or a list of what you have to do when you are on vacation is an itinerary with the stress on the tin. Okay, sometimes you have to gauge something, not gauge it. Why? Because gauge means to estimate. So if I see something, I can say, oh, I think that bag, for me, I can gauge that bag to be around 50 kgs. It looks pretty heavy to me. Okay, that's your estimate. You can gauge, you can kind of make out. All right. Now, there are some people who do something for the first time. And that's what this word is really about. But do you call it a debut? No, not really. You shouldn't call it a debut because this word is a debut. Debut. So let's say that there is an actor who acted in his first movie. So what do you say? You can say, this is his debut. He debuted on the 2nd of November. We have another word, which is espresso. Espresso. Okay, there is an X over here, but this X is only meant to confuse you. Don't pay attention to it. When you go to baristas or any other coffee shop, do not order an espresso. You won't get it. Okay, but you will definitely get an espresso. Espresso. The EX is said as an S. Okay, now there are some people, when I was a child, I was mischievous. Do you want to call it a mischievous? Well, not really. You can't call it a mischievous because I was mischievous. Mischievous. This is just a ch and it's a vis. So miss, like I'm Miss Ceema, mischievous, mischievous. Okay. Okay, there's another word which is actually it's used as an adverb. Okay, it's used to transition between ideas. This word means although. So I can say, I was wearing a sweater, albeit it was very hot. Okay, so albeit, that's the way you say it. You can't call it an albeit. It's albeit, albeit. Okay, this is a great day, albeit it is a little too sunny for me, which means it's a great day, although it's a little sunny for me. Yeah, so you don't say albeit or whatever, you can call it albeit. A very common word. This word is not bury, it's berry. So think of strawberries. How do you say? You say, I love strawberries. So berry, that's a berry, right? This word actually means to put something beneath, underneath the ground surface, but you don't say bury, you just say berry. Think strawberries. Okay, a lot of us sometimes have to call the police, not the police or the police. You know, we have a habit of saying police. I remember when I was growing up, people would say, hey, what's the police number? It's not police, it's police, police. And then some grapes they're not sour, they're sour, sour. So if something has got this bittery taste, what do you say? You say, oh my God, I don't want to eat this, it's too sour. Not sour, sour. Now, this word practically means a category. If I'm talking about a category of something or a type of something, I'm referring to not the genre, I'm referring to its genre. Genre. Now pay attention to me, I'm not saying j, neither am I saying a sh. I'm kind of saying a sound which is a mix of a j and a sh, which is a zh, zh. It's called the genre. Okay. Now, there are some people who are very, they are into a lot of sporting activities and they are athletic. Okay. Now, remember, the noun form is athlete. So if I am into a lot of sport activities, I would be an athlete, which I'm not. But someone who engages in these kind of activities is an athletic person. Okay, so you have an athlete, but just because you call it an athlete, you can't say athletic. Okay, it is athletic. Say this after me. Athletic. I can say Akash is very athletic. Okay, all right then. Let's go to the next word, which is forte. Forte means my area of interest or my area of expertise. So I can say something like, dancing is not exactly my forte. Not forte, but, or not fort, but it's not my forte. Foyer. Okay, this is actually a French word, for real. This is actually a French word, and this is a word used to talk about this entrance to a nice big house. Okay, well, we don't get that in our city, but anyway, in French or in France, you call it a foyer. And this is how you say it, foyer. Okay, this is one of the colors I've never really, I don't wear this color too much, maybe I should. It looks like a pink and a mix of a lavender. Okay, I'm not great with colors, but this color is called a mauve, okay? It's not a mauve or whatever you want to call it. It's a mauve. Mauve means, like I said, it's a beautiful color. It's kind of a mix of a lavender and a pink, really pretty. Maybe I'll wear it one day in one of the videos. Okay, let's look at the next word. It's called a nuptial. Now, let me tell you this, okay? For whoever's listening, make a note of this. A lot of words ending with IAL, do not call them ill. They're just ul. So you have a nuptial, nuptial. Crucial, not crucial, crucial. Financial, not financial. Okay, so whenever you see an IAL, do not be tempted to say ill. Okay, I've given you a good tip. Remember it. Okay then, by the way, a nuptial is when you get married, and the proceedings that take place when you get married is a nuptial, if you want to know. All right, a lot of us, what are we doing? We are polluting the country and the environment. So pollute is to make something bad and make something really toxic. But just because you see an O, don't say pollute or pollute. Just say pollute. Pollute. Okay? All right. There are some people who think that they are greater than the other people. They have a superior attitude. They are called supremacists. Okay? Supremacists. You have to stress this part. You'll say, that guy, he's a supremacist. I don't like him. He's sort of a supremacist. Okay? Not supremacist, but supremacist. Supremacist. Okay, say this with me. That guy is a supremacist. Okay, now, this word looks like tenant, but it's not. A tenant is someone who stays in your house and pays you some money. Okay, I'd love to have a tenant. But anyway, this is not a tenant. This is the tenet. It's called a tenet. And a tenet is nothing but a principle. Okay, so I can say I have some core tenets. Or Let's Talk has some core tenets, which means we believe in teaching English naturally. That's our tenet. Okay, a lot of us use it, but do we use it correctly when pronouncing it? Let's find out. Do you say technology? Well, stop saying it, because this word is called technology. Technology. Okay? Technology. And it's not logy, it's just lo. Tech, no, lo, g. Technology. I love technology. Okay. The next word would be accessory. Accessory. Okay? You stress the ses. An accessory is something that you have in addition to what you are wearing. Like I'm wearing a t-shirt, a top. But if I'm wearing earrings and a watch, that would be an accessory. Okay? Another very common word, it looks like an across or an across, but it's actually across. Just the sound. There are many words like this. Again. We don't say again. Again. About. Announce. Arrange. Align. Appear. I could go on and on. But a lot of words start with the sound and don't start it with any other sound. Okay? Starts with an Okay, now this word means cruel. Okay, some people are very cruel. Okay, but how do you say this word? Heinous. That was a heinous man. He was convicted of heinous crimes against children. Okay, that's heinous for you. Some things are very little, tiny, very small. Okay, this word is another word for tiny, but how do you say it? You say minuscule. Minuscule. Minuscule means very tiny. I can't see it. Very tiny. Okay, all right. A lot of us eat. Do you eat a vegetable? Believe me, there is no table involved in your vegetables because it's simply a vegetables. Vegetables. This word again, a super mispronounced word, like everyone mispronounces it. It's develop, not develop. It's de. So you stress the vowel, you go develop. I will develop this software. Do you develop software? I want to develop content, not develop. Develop. Say this after me. Develop. Develop. Okay. Now, this is the ingredient which you put in your chocolate. Do you know? Chocolate is not just made up of sugar, okay? For those who don't know. It's also made up of this product which is actually called a cocoa. This A really has no use, okay? This A is useless. You don't have to use it. You simply say cocoa. There's cocoa in my chocolate. I've got 60% cocoa in my chocolate. Okay, now there are some people who have a good, do you say figure? No, it's figure, figure. Okay, so figure is used in many ways, like, oh, you have a good figure, which means a nice shape to your body. Or I can say, I'm going to figure it out. Figure it out means I'm going to find out the solution to something. So this word has got multiple uses, but don't say figure, say figure, figure, figure. Okay. Now, this word is confused with pitcher. People say pitcher. But pitcher is like a jug. You know, I have a pitcher of beer on a weekend sometimes. But this is not a pitcher. This is a picture. Picture. When you go on social media, you post a picture. You don't post a picture. A picture is something you drink if you want to. You post a picture. The k sound is going to be nice and strong. Picture. Okay. And some of us love to drive our vehicles, not vehicles, but vehicles. Okay, so if you have a car, you can say, I own a vehicle. I have been owning a vehicle since 2012. Okay, that's a vehicle for you. Okay, guys, make sure you use these words correctly. I have a lot more words I could discuss with you, but we will do that in due time. But for now, make sure you pronounce these words correctly and do tell me in the comments which words you've been mispronouncing. And promise me that from now on, you're going to pronounce it the way I have taught you to. Okay, is that a promise? All right, great. I will be back with some more lessons. I will teach you more pronunciation and more techniques to get great at pronunciation. But until then, keep learning, keep practicing, and have a great smile on your face. Bye.